Welcome everyone to RareMaven, the podcast where we own, recreate, and celebrate Black women creatives. I'm your host, Karima Muhammad. I'm the founder of RareMaven, creative producer of this podcast, and we're here to just inspire, ignite, and we gonna get started for summer. Okay, we got some special things for y'all. We have Shawana Ward with us today. So Shawana is a wellness practitioner, yoga instructor, author, and the founder of the Self Love Song, where she creates wellness experiences and programming for schools, colleges like Hampton University, and even businesses of the like. And she also does her fabulous yoga by the beach. We won't get into that. She makes it an experience, y'all. But what we really want to talk about today is how to sustain our creativity in this beautiful time of summer with all the energy that it brings, but how do we successfully move on with our creativity, but also by being mindful and grounded throughout summer. So thank you and welcome, Shawana.
Yes, thank you. That was such a beautiful intro. I'm like, okay, I've done a few things. I was like, all right.
Yes, you're doing a lot of great things out here. And I'm gonna let y'all know right now, she has a soft girl July like meditation, right? I did it before this podcast, y'all.
Yes.
Y'all see me now. I am grounded. I was feeling a little groggy today, but that meditation did it for me. It really helped me just get in my zen. And thank you so much. So she already got y'all covered, actually. So we're gonna get into it though. But welcome, Shawana.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so to start us off, I just want to know like where you're from and who was the first person to inspire you as a creative?
So I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. I've lived in various places. I was raised a good chunk of my childhood in Georgia, in the country. Y'all probably have never heard of it. It's called Zebulon, Georgia, very small town. But I've been back in Virginia since the ninth grade. So I've been back here since then. And I'd have to say the first person to inspire me, honestly, probably was Spike Lee. Between him, I can't say Andre 3000 was the first, but he's somebody that will continue to always inspire me. But for sure, Spike Lee was somebody who I feel like since a young lad I've been inspired by, for sure.
Wow, I love that. We got VA in the building. I used to live in VA too. I'm in Georgia now too. So
Okay.
I never heard that county. I don't know.
Girl,
Is it north, south? Is it central?
it's south of Atlanta. So it's like, I
Okay.
don't know if you've heard of Griffin or Pike County.
Yes, I heard of Griffin.
So Zebulon is the city right next to it. You literally, they're submerged basically. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm too far from here. Not too far.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yes, and Spike Lee, that he's one of my inspirations, like as a filmmaker as well, and just like what he stands for, and just celebrating the culture, making sure we encapsulate the culture as well through film. So yes, we definitely got that right there. Is he's I've been trying to find him. He's hard to find. but yeah.
I've met him in person before.
Oh really?
I have to. I'm like, I'm gonna make it my mission.
Yes. Okay, we got that. It's gonna happen. We done said it here, right here, or RareMaven podcast. We said it. We Spike Lee, we meeting here. It's official. It's official. All right. Well, I have like a trivia question for you, right?
Okay.
So would you rather go on a yoga tour at like the top 5 just beaches in Africa?
Oh my gosh.
Or would you rather be on like Oprah? She has her show around wellness, but say she has like a tour and you go with her as her premier like wellness practitioner.
So
why?
I understand. I don't think you want me to say why exactly with Oprah, but if you understand your true value, like you gotta bet on yourself. And so from already collaborating with a lot of people and big name people I've worked with, especially from this area, and still being in spaces where I don't want to say I've dreamed of being in and being disappointed in the lack of like authenticity or being restricted in what I can do because there is certain energy that comes along when you're when you're in the biggest names and names. And I found that I don't really like being in those spaces for too long, or without intention or purpose. So I would definitely 1,000 times choose the Africa tour, because there's no restraint on how on the vibe or the people that I attract. It could be with pure intention. That's the type of person that I am. But if I was given the opportunity to work for Oprah, I would be definitely honored.
All right. I like that. Like she said something key right there, y'all. Bet on yourself. That is a big thing, because even like see where Oprah is, even if we want to speak about her, she bet on herself. So she didn't have somebody to put her on with her show. She had to own that show. So I love that.
She created a network, a
Yes,
whole network. Like
yes,
that's goals. So I definitely
yes.
look up to her in that way.
Wonderful. I love that response. Africa, we there, okay? We
Come
could make that
on. I
happen,
want to
okay?
manifest that. I love that you said that. That is awesome. I'm like, can we
Yeah.
make that happen?
Exactly. We're going to Dar es Salaam out there in Tanzania. You know, you're going to down to like South Africa, beaches, Ghana, can do a whole thing, Morocco, over, you know, to just go through all of them, you know.
I don't think we would come back to the States after that. I can't
I know
see
I
me
wouldn't.
wanting to come back here. Yeah. Mm-mm.
I wouldn't at all. So, right. Well, let us know, what is the self love song?
So the self-love song was birthed back in 2020 during the pandemic. I got into, so in 2019 I started getting into meditation. But it became like a real practice for me, where I felt like my day is not going to go right unless I get up and the first thing I do is meditate, probably in 2020. And I was like, coming right off of like a what we call a tower moment. So sometimes you reach the peak or pinnacle of something you've been trying to reach, and maybe you got some inner work that you didn't do, and so the universe will kind of halt you and sit you down and strip you of a lot of things in order for you to really come to terms with what you're really here for. Sometimes we get distracted, and so there was a level of self love I had to come to in order to move forward during that time, because I felt a lot of the things that I was stripped of were things that made me feel valuable as a person. And so God had to show me my value without things. So from there, music also was a big part of what helped. I've always loved music. My family, there's a lot of musicians in my family, and so that didn't change when it got to me. And so my love for music, my love for mindfulness, and all that that brings, and then the power of self love. I think people think that self love is selfish, but the more you love yourself, the better human you are to your community. Like I have seen it, and I can tell when people are really rooted and centered in real love because they love themselves. It's not a show. It's not, I want people to like me. It's like, no, I treat myself well. So I show up and treat others well. So the self love song was birthed from basically a connector of the three. And I used each component and created a platform that just started off as a Zoom meeting for people to come in. I think it was donation based or free. Whether you had $5, $10, we just wanted people to come and get the Zen. And from there, it really grew. Next thing I knew, I was doing it in person. And then from there, schools were asking. It blew up into something that I did not expect. And super grateful.
Nice. I love that. Now, I know we spoke about yoga, like what is it all comprised of when we hear the self love song?
So the three major pillars are mindfulness, movement, and music. And so mindfulness consists of anything that allows you to become self-aware, to calm the mind, or to just bring awareness to all the things that allow our mind to really function at its best. So meditation, somatic healing. I do a lot of curriculum writing for different schools and stuff like that. So building out mindfulness programs to implement, whether that's in school, corporate, workplace wellness. And so reading, even just practices that help you be more mindful, all those things fall under mindfulness. And then you have movement. So that could be exercise, working out. We focus heavy on yoga. Um, Reiki is not a movement, that falls under the more spiritual practices that we do underneath the all three pillars. But we encourage you to get out and move your body, period, because moving your body really allows us to release experiences and make room for what we're really aligned for. So really breaking down why movement is so important. And then music, we create a playlist, chakra curated playlists. We love music, but if we can be honest, music isn't always the most positive to listen to. Too much of a certain kind can be very detrimental on the brain because of how powerful music is. Music is a healing modality. So we take our favorite songs that may not be so good to listen to a lot or in plethora or like an entire album, and we kind of match them with other high vibrating songs that give you that same energy to create chakra playlists. And we also curate them for different events and different communities and things of that nature. So that's like a gist of what you get at the Self Love Song.
Wow, it seems like a full-on experience. I would love to participate in one of those. That sounds like a retreat too. We might have to do the self-love.
We've had to retreat. That's
Okay.
something that we work on as well. And then right now we're birthing from that the firstborn daughters community. So it's for all women,
Mm.
but the eldest daughters carry these pillars and these expectations. And really, we're matriarchs of our family, but we're learning
Mhm.
how to do that from a healed and empowered approach versus how our grandparents or those before us may have done it. And that is an extension of the Self Love Song. That community does all of those things as well. So if
Mhm.
you're looking
Mhm.
to kind of like see what it's like first, like we do a lot of stuff virtually and in person. So that's a
Mhm.
good way for people who are looking to build more community and engage in those things with other like-minded women. And these other women are creatives. They share their businesses across one another. We network, we collab. We're really trying to build that strong and authentic sisterhood.
I
So yeah,
love it.
welcome. Come on, Karima. We want you here.
Yes, I'm coming. I am a firstborn daughter.
See, look
So
at that. I knew it. I knew it. I love it. I love it. Okay.
yeah. So we can go. Woo, that's a whole other story.
Come on. That could be a whole episode. You know what I'm
That
saying?
could be a whole episode here, y'all. Oh my gosh. I feel like I would love to even connect that to why firstborn daughter is getting into creativity, like as an outlet. And I know like that was something as a young one, I stayed creative. I don't know if it was to block out all the noise with the other ones or
Saved our
just to be
lives.
in my space, but like something is there with being creative. I'm convinced.
Yeah. I feel
Firstborn.
like it saved our lives. And that's how
Yes.
that's alchemy. That's real alchemy. It's taking
Mm-hmm.
because we go through stuff that you probably would never see. We wear it so well. I mean,
Yes.
people be amazed at the things we went through, and we channel that into something beautiful. I.e.,
Mm-hmm.
the Rare Maven Maven Media podcast, like two
Yes.
beautiful things. So
Yes.
honor to you, sister.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I didn't know it's gonna get this thing. Okay. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So now to spin it to our creators out here for the Rare Mavens, Black women creatives. I just want you to like tell us like some of your tips, like because you are into creative modalities. And before we get into the whole summer, but just in general, like your tips around ownership, being a business owner, artistry, and I would say your number one wellness tip for Black women creatives specifically.
So I would say, as far as being a businesswoman, I feel like women need to know you can build a brand without having to be a business. I don't think being a business owner is for everybody. I think culture is really pushing entrepreneurship and business right now because of the benefits it can bring. But if you are not built a certain type of way, you're not going to even enjoy it. And I tell people that before I think I want to start a business. You probably want to just start a brand. You probably want to express more of yourself. You probably want to figure out a creative way to do that. And sometimes using your gifts, using your passion and your talents, you can build a brand and influence or build a community without having a business. So I want women to not feel the pressure to be a businesswoman, honestly, to just authentically fall into what makes you. And that sounds like a complicated thing, but it's really not. Stillness, spending time with yourself to figure out what your true desires really are outside of what society says we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to do, all these tasks and themes and roles we show up as. There's a you underneath that. And there's things that you can do and engage in that just bring you joy for no reason at all. It just makes you happy, fulfillment. And normally, those are the things that open you up to what your true passion and purpose is. So I would say before you decide to venture into business, I would explore what your purpose is. And that will help you figure out, do I want to turn my purpose into a business? Or do I want to, there's so many different ways you can creatively go about it. So I always say definitely hone into you and figure out who you are and build your brand first.
Love that. Love that. Now, what about artistry?
So I say this in my meditations a lot. Art is whatever is creation, and that's whatever you choose to wake up and breathe life into. So I always say take the limits and constructs off of what artistry is, because I think when we hear that, we automatically think of two or three things: musicians, people who paint or maybe build things with their hands. But my art is my breath. It's how I teach people how to meditate. It's my meditations aren't like your normal. I would say I've always heard how uniquely it is tailored to the people there. And so that's my form of artistry, is the way I teach people how to breathe. And so your form of art may not look or sound like anyone else's, but fall in love with your art form first and then share it with others. So you always create from a place that this is what I love.
I love that. That's good. Yeah, I hope y'all writing this down. Okay, create from what you love, and then that will. I just feel like at the end of the day, whatever you create that out of love, it will reverberate regardless to
Yes,
others. It'll transcend,
yes,
and some things that are just forced just to do it out of, I don't know, sometimes habit.
yes,
Won't connect as much versus what uniquely just speaks to you. Art is another form of a message at the end of the day,
for
you
sure.
know. And one on wellness, we're going to tap into this, but just in a general wellness tip as far as for Black women creatives specifically.
You are only as good to those around you as you are to yourself first. Wellness is such a broad topic, and there are so many different wellness things you can do to stay healthy. So you can jog, you can do yoga, you can get into meditation, you can do the different activities they may have in your church community. There's a lot of ways: hiking, swimming, getting active. But whatever you choose, know that you have to intentionally pour into yourself when you're doing these things, and not because, oh, I want to be full so I can show up for others. No, I want to be full because I deserve to be full. You deserve to be nourished. The same way we encourage those that we love to rest when they're burnt out, or to be gentle with themselves, we have to give ourselves that same energy. And that sounds easy, but it's really foreign to a lot of us. We're not conditioned or taught that at all. We're taught to be very strong, to show up and go above and beyond, past exhaustion, past whatever, and to kind of be the superhero. But that we're dismantling that, and we are powerful, but we're learning how to be gentle giants. And so I would say, my number one thing I say is learn how to tap into your gentle giant.
I love that. Learn how to tap into your gentle giant. Okay, y'all. So we just get, this is like halfway there. She got some gems because I told you summer is spicy, but we gonna be gentle giants in the summer too. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So let's run it back for business. It don't have to be a do task, business. It just find out what the brand is. And that brand is an extension of yourself. It's an extension of whatever it is you already are, your purpose. So that was a great one. The artistry, fall in love with it,
Yeah.
do things out of love, create out of what you love versus something that is forced upon you, and that there's no box to creativity or art forms. So that is a great one because that I like that one too, because with artistry we're always innovating and there are different things now we do. Like now people are into, like, it looks like almost like how you see vision boards, what is it called, scrapbooking, almost like
Yeah,
there's like art
the
like
mood
that,
boards and stuff.
yeah, they're like just collages. Basically, now is a big style, right?
Yeah.
Collages you see out now, showing, depicting different things around culture,
Mm.
experiences. Someone just made that their art form. That just spoke to them. So that's a great example. And then with wellness, like, we are pouring into our cups for us. It's not to just pour out always to others. I really like that because it's a point of like you're worthy regardless. That's what I get out of that.
Yeah.
Regardless if you're like giving to someone else, you have to give to yourself first. It's knowing that you have self-worth. And like we talked about, it's true self-love is to take care of yourself. So
Absolutely.
those are some good ones. And I told y'all we just get started. All right. Because this is an episode to focus on our mindfulness and our wellness for summer. It's something that we don't, again, it's not typical, but I just noticed every year. We talked about that burnout thing. You can burn out during summer. You can have so many events you want to go to, things you want to do, money get burning. It's hot. You want to rest, and then by the end you're just exhausted. And then our creative is on the back burner. And so with this episode, I want to talk about what we can do during this summer solstice time to show that self-love to us to sustain for the summer. Okay? Sustain for the summer. Say it with me. Sustain
for
for
the
the summer. Okay. So, Shawana, please share with us. I read your blog. She has a wonderful blog. We're going to definitely like put it online for y'all to take a look at. And it's Self-Love and Summer Solstice blog, right? So, just break down some of your tips and how it can really help Black women creatives this summer.
So one of the things that helped me really shift into creating a lifestyle that I felt like best fit me was learning how to shift with the seasons. Summer, for instance, we bring in the warmth, joy. People are feeling more vibrant because the sun is peaked and showing at its highest. So you may feel like you want to be more social. A lot of people take a lot of vacations and stuff during the summer. Just the nature of it is very easygoing. And so if you actually tailor your everyday practices to mirror and empower that type of energy, you really start aligning in life. You start kind of aligning with people who are doing the similar things like you. You feel like, oh my gosh, like we're almost twins. You hear people all talking about this twin flame thing. A lot of people start, and then even the angel numbers. I see like now I'm seeing 333 and 1010 and stuff all the time. Well, a lot of it is just people start releasing and letting go of things that don't serve them anymore, not realizing they're doing it normally around the season change, like when it's going from spring to summer or fall to, fall from cold to warm. Summertime is about execution and feeling that joy. So keeping a high vibration, not really going against the current. So if you are feeling like you're being pulled, I don't know, to study a certain thing, but maybe there's someone in your life who's like, oh, I was really feeling like I want to do this or that we should do this. You want to lean into what your energy and your spirit is telling you during that time. So not going being involved in stuff that has too much friction, um keeping a high vibration and tapping into what naturally makes you feel good, those childlike talents and gifts, those things you did for no reason at all. It just made you feel happy, and a lot of those times that ignites what we call your sacral chakra and your solar plexus chakra, which will ignite you to start creating and doing. And next thing you know, you didn't started working on your brain and didn't know. So yeah, I hope that
Well,
makes sense.
yes, no, I love it. I feel like definitely for summer, and this is what I just kind of tapped on too. It's just some things just get behind us, and you made a great point because it's execution season. We have
Mhm.
to be aware, like what Shawana said, of what people are inviting us to. That's their execution to get done. I'm literally going through this right now. I have felt it in my body today. I was like,
Mm,
this thing right here is not mine. And all I'm going to do is commit to what I can give, but I'm
mm,
not going to do someone else's, first someone else's baby, essentially. Like I might get them like some baby shower gifts,
come
help
on,
them along the way, but I have to nurture the baby that I have. And a
come
lot of
on.
times summertime comes and we miss that window period of execution. You were seeding and executing into someone else's dream and
Yeah,
vision, who
yeah,
probably don't even care about really what they're doing. Because if they want you to come and execute, that means they don't even take their dream as serious. So we
exactly.
really have to be aware of what people are bringing, just like centers, who we inviting in.
Come on, that's
They don't get
powerful.
the invite. This has been something for this season that I've been finding out. Don't invite everyone to the party.
Mm.
Figuratively and literally this summer. Do not invite everybody to the party because they're not on the same time.
Come on.
Shawana said, you'll like attract the ones who are about that life for their own. And then you come and you celebrate joyfully together.
Mhm.
So that's like, I just want to drive that, y'all. Y'all can drive it.
And you'll feel the resistance. And you'll
Mm-hmm.
be in spaces that you normally could just go in and have a good old time, or even if you didn't fully mesh with people, like you could be there. You could have a good time. You'll walk in the same space, the same people, and just feel uncomfortable. You'll almost feel like you've outgrown certain things, and that's when you know you're really alchemizing. You're really walking that path of probably you're returning to self. So
Yes, and so these are good. Now, talk to us about nature. You mentioned nature in your blog around the summer solstice and
yeah.
how important it is to essentially like ground yourself and also release. So if you're feeling like that stifling, you feeling you're talking about like getting out in nature, how important it is, especially now it's summer, y'all. We can be outside freely.
Yeah. So if you live near parks, where I live, we have a lot of trails, like Nolan Trail. That is one by my house that I love to go to all the time. Oak Grove Park, anywhere near water, if you have lakes nearby, even if you have access to the beach, being out in nature, that's the closest you'll be to God. And that is when you have the most clarity. If you're like me and busy, I have a lot of voices and energy around me all the time. That is where I go to where I can block out all the noise. If my brain is busy when I get there, sometimes just sitting by the water and listening to the waves will just, and I can just feel my mind coming at ease. It's like the water's taking it away. My dad says the same thing. So being around those elements enhances our spiritual gifts that we have on the inside. So being able to tap into our intuition, like I said, hearing from God, or even wanting to gain clarity around your own goals or vision, like being able to be in nature to quiet your mind, to open your third eye to see more clearly so your vision is clear. Nature is very powerful. So I always tell people, literally take your shoes off and put your feet in the grass. Told my dad that for years, and he kept saying, "Yeah, I heard da da da," and wouldn't do it. And then one day he watched some guy on TikTok say the same thing, and he finally went and did it and was like, "Man, you was telling me all them years to take my shoes off and just get in the grass, and I never did it. But now I understand you're getting recharged by the earth." I said, "Yeah, I won't gonna try to woo you into it. I just want you to go try it." He finally did it. So like stuff like that, putting your feet into the ground is so simple and basic, but it's some of the most powerful things you'll ever do. Putting your hands on a tree bark, connecting with nature, very powerful.
I love it. I love that dad was down. Okay. That's good. He became a believer. And even
Yeah.
speaking to that, can you talk about even us as like Black women, just historically being like in tune with nature,
Mm.
just being creative beings, and how, I would say definitely tell us about your journey, and like how it's similar, and it's like a whole resurgence around Black women really tapping back into who we are, following our intuitions, being more creative and open to possibility, like just like tap on that, and like how we've kind of gotten away from it, but now we're coming back into it.
A lot of our frustration, they always say we're angry Black women. We're not angry, we're strong, but a lot of it's because we're holding in a lot of stuff we need to express in a creative way. We don't have a lot of outlets that allow us to do like me and you have found our outlets, and that may change and shift depending on how life looks, but we know we have to have an outlet of creation. And so I feel like being in nature allows you to feel more open and safe to express those outlets. I hate to always to make everything spiritual, but we are spiritual beings first, and being able to creatively express ourselves is our means of healing. Normally, whatever your gift is, that is what God will use to help you heal yourself, whatever you need healing from. And so now that our society is kind of seeing everything we've built on has been complete corruption. And a lot of people have gotten back to these indigenous practices that we were practicing before we were colonized, not to get too deep, but we were here before they got here. And once they got here, they stripped us of what we had always done, but ended up needing our help because they needed to be healed. So they took bits and parts of it and created these constructs. And so now these constructs are falling, and I think women are feeling more empowered to get back to these things. None of these what they call new age spiritualism is new. These things been our ancient practices been around forever. That a lot of them have just been demonized. A lot of them have just been whitewashed. And so you got two sides right now: people who are fully open and curious and want to explore, and then people are like, I'm staying the way that I've known. I'm not going to venture more into these things. But I think more than less, even if people aren't fully trying to submerge in it, they're being more open. I'm seeing a lot more Christian women open to hiking, and just being outside for them was a no before. I was with a group of them this weekend. I did a meditation, and even they're meticulous about not saying meditation because that's demonic. Certain stuff is demonic, but they have felt the power of being in it. So it's like, let's experience it and put our own twist in it, which is cool. People just need to experience it. There's many ways to access nature and access our divinity, but I think it's just time for us to bridge that gap for sure. And I'm really, really excited to see it. My journey came along but I think faster than most when I became a mother, because I've always been really self-aware, and I felt like I just noticed very soon that I was passing down things that I call myself generationally breaking from my parents. It looked different on the outside, but internally I was still very much so doing a lot of the same things. And so that's kind of that was enough for me to try to figure out what are some other ways I can connect and see real change in my life from these things that I grew up with and I experienced. Because I love church and I love God and Jesus, but it was like a repetition. I wasn't seeing the transformation. I was just following a lot of rules and trying to get free of stuff that I felt like was plaguing me, even though I was doing all the right things. So
Yeah, I get that. Thank you for sharing that and just your journey. And I definitely feel like it is a bridge that needs to be built. And at the end of the day, even when we think about meditation, being out in nature, a lot of these things are for us to connect to the source, to God,
exactly,
right? Because
exactly.
God is the ultimate creator, right?
Right, right.
For those who believe in higher power, I like the ultimate creator. And I love what you said about the group of Christian women as far as being more open to meditation and their way. Because honestly, when I think about it, meditation is a word, again, a
It's
message.
prayer. It's
You
prayer.
know, it's
You know,
prayer.
it's prayer.
So you can literally like pray and talk about what you want, whatever speaks to you. But it's literally just a message, and we're told to pray. We're told just to go out and observe nature. That's a big thing. I know in my scripture it is observe nature, right?
Yeah.
um, as a representation of God. So why are we not out there?
What did God say to you? Peace, still. Peace, be
Yeah.
still. Stillness is that just being still is a form of meditation. You know?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I love to debunk what it is, but
Yes.
we can say mindful moments if that makes you feel
Exactly. All right. Well, to also get back into that word, I want to touch on music.
good.
Okay, like the power of music. And this is a great time to just promote music, celebrate with music, enjoy company with music. So, but when it comes to our creativity, can you touch us about the power of music?
So it's what I would say one of the most powerful healing modalities. Think of it's in everything. When we have praise and worship in church, you feel it when we're singing and we're worshiping. If you think about when you was in school, even from when babies, the quickest way to get them to learn nursery rhymes, music is put in everything, advertisement. Um, even in corporate, like even when you walk into a meeting and they're playing that ambient music when you're in the elevator, they have incorporated sound and music and everything, and it's because it's the quickest way to try to send a message. So whether you put in vocals on top of it, whether you're speaking or just talking, that's why meditation is just as powerful as music. It's one and the same. It's very very powerful, but I think in our society it's perverted. It's very very perverted. They push a certain agenda when it comes to music, which is why I just love music too much to let what I'm saying, it be distorted. I feel like so I try to use whatever those superpowers I have to turn things that may have intended for bad to be sent for good. And I think that we should continue to use it across all borders within the school system. I think we should use it to switch how the school system is done. That's another thing that needs to be dismantled. Our systems need to be reconstructed, and I think music is a very powerful bridge to do that because we all can agree on a good song for them. It calms the mind. It helps us. It enhances and influences that. Talk about them chakras again: the sacral and the solar plexus. And your sacral chakra is where you house your creativity, um, your sexuality, your sensuality. All those things are connected. Your solar plexus is where you show up and take action. So music influences that and enhances it. So I definitely recommend having a playlist for the morning or something that's slow, very empowering and vibey. Maybe if there's a part of your day or week where you need to be more tough and tenacious, we have a root chakra playlist for that to get into your firmness and your strength and knowing that you are that girl. Sound healing is very powerful, especially if you have a very overreactive brain or you overthink like me. Listening to sound bath frequencies on YouTube. There's this dude named Malte Martin. He's awesome. I meditate to him every morning. I There's a sound bath guy. I can't. It's like chakra tones or something, but he has these colorful bowls and there's a little kitty cat on it. Look it up, y'all. It's very popular. But listening to these things on a daily basis, um, literally the frequencies in our body shift to the frequencies that are in these songs and that are in these bowls and that are in these experiences. So, read up on it. We have access to so many resources now. If you're knowledgeable or you're not sure what I mean when I say frequency and HC and all those things, but using them to enhance uh, your creativity and your personal power. will allow you to show up more fully in your everyday life.
Yes, thank you. That was good. I hope y'all taking notes. Okay, I know I'm gonna have to run it back later too and read, but I already know it's a go, and that's why we have our last question, which is our Rise, Shine, and Thrive song. So it's so amazing that you talk about this because we have songs. I ask each guest like, what is a song that whenever they're groggy, feeling it out up to it, like kind of what you spoke to with the root, like getting up within ourselves. And mine is Diva by Beyonce.
Come
Right.
on,
Yeah,
Diva.
Diva is that one.
Yeah,
So I
forever.
know you have your self-love and summer solstice playlist, and we're gonna also link that, y'all, because this is a good. I was listening to that too before this.
Come on. It's a vibe.
Get into it. It's a whole vibe. So I want you to know, instead of one, we usually ask for one, but what will be your top 3 on that playlist? Like if we go listen to one right now, we'll
So
make sure to check it out.
I know 2 off bat. One of them is "Open a Window" by Rex Life, Tyler the Creator, and I think there's another artist on that one. So, Rex Orange Life, Tyler, and who's the other person? Are you gonna pop up for me? Oh, it's just those 2. So that is one. The second one is the one I just added today. It is a very high vibing song. It's called "Feeling So Good" by Jennifer Lopez. Okay, that one. And then what the third? A easy honorable mention. I'm scrolling down now, y'all. Okay, so "Life is Good" by Sir and Scripps Riley. Always gonna put me in a good mood. Life is good. Life is good, yeah. Car fastest. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So y'all got it. Y'all gonna get a sneak peek. Okay. I'm playing
Yeah.
auto songs for auto promo too. So you made it easy on me.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm so excited. Well, I definitely want to thank you for coming on this episode of the podcast. I really, really hope everyone, has found a wealth of information from Shawana and that you can apply this to your summer. Make sure it glow and sustain it. Okay. And I just want you to let us know how we can stay in contact with you and come to some of these yoga series this summer or just, to catch a vibe.
theselflovesong.com, the Self-Love Song on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. My personal blog is predominantly love, but I'm actually getting ready to finally change it after all these years. My handle has been predominantly love since 2018, I think, or might have been 17. So I'm getting ready to change it to, I'm exclusively dropping this on RareMaven Media, the silent disruptor, because that is who I am. And I think I'm ready to embody that. The silent disruptor will be where you can find me if you want to get to know me more personally. But if you're looking for all the wellness things, follow the Self-Love Song and Firstborn Daughters, guys. So make sure y'all tap in, subscribe to the newsletter. That's
it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Shawana.
Yes.
This was amazing. Thank you.
I enjoyed it so much.
Yes, me too. I'm excited. I'm hitting up that playlist again after this. But I also want to thank you all for tuning into this episode of the podcast. I hope that you found value from Shawana and her testimony and her tips. And for summer, I hope you're good. Okay. No complaints. And just remember to own what you create and celebrate. Follow us at RareMaven Media for more. All right.
All right. See y'all.